Hey, folks, and welcome to the Lotus Roche Ignite Life Coaching and Consulting broadcast today on what is a brand. Many people have talked to me about how they can update themselves and upgrade themselves and establish their brand. Many people are kind of confused on what branding really is. So today I'm going to help yourself understand what branding is and how you can up brand yourself step by step. So, first thing I want to talk about is what is a brand? A lot of people don't know what a brand is. So, in order to explain what is a brand, we're going to talk about what a brand isn't. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what a brand is not. So, branding is not merely just a logo, a tagline, or a piece of merch. Many times people think that when they get a piece of merch with their logo on it, they're branded. Or when they create a specific tagline, they think that they're branded. Well, my friend, that is not branding. Branding is more than just a tagline, a logo, or a piece of merch. When people want to brand, they get really confused oftentimes about what a brand is. And so I'm going to share another tip about what a brand is not. So let's write this down. Get your pen and get your pad. And if you haven't invited someone to this broadcast, please quickly invite them to the broadcast because I'll be with you for less than 30 minutes. So get your pen and get your pad if you haven't already. And I'm going to tell you what a brand is not. Branding is not, number one, it is not merely a logo, a tagline, or a piece of merch. Okay. When we talk about branding, many people say that a brand is kind of like a product or something like that. Say they say that, okay, I'm going to get Lotus's shirt. Well, my shirt is not my brand. That's a product. My coaching is not a brand. That's a service. So you have to really understand what a brand is not in order to understand what a brand is. So what is a brand? Branding is not a logo, a tagline, or a piece of merch. Branding is not a product. When people talk about a brand or that a brand that they are talking about, when they're talking about a brand and they're talking about a product, that's not a brand. Okay. So we know those two things. I want to share with you that a brand is a result. It's a result of kind of what your company does, so to speak. So let's talk about that. But before we move to that, I want to go back to a logo because a lot of times people say a logo is my brand. So let me clear something up for you because I used to think that kind of too. Like, okay, I've got my company name, that's my brand. I've got my company logo, that's my brand. But I was wrong. And many other people out there are wrong. And I really want to help you clear this up. So when you have a logo, that is not your brand. It is a part of your brand. So I want to make that abundantly clear. So for you that are just coming in, please come on in and be a part of this broadcast. And if you're trying to figure out what I'm talking about in this quick 30-minute clip, I'm talking about what is a brand because I get a lot of people that are asking what is a brand. And what I've shared thus far is a brand is not a logo, it's not a tagline, it's not a piece of merch, it's none of that. Because you have to understand what a brand is not to understand what a brand is. And when people talk about a particular brand like of cereal or something like that, they're talking about a product. When they say, oh, I'm getting coaching with Les Brown or Lotus Roche or Robert J. Moore, that's not a brand. They're talking about a service. Okay. So we want to make sure we know that a brand is not a tagline. It is not a piece of merch. It is not a tagline. It is not a service or a product. A brand is a result. And we're going to talk a little bit about the result as we go. So as we move forward, I really want to share something with you that I heard a few days ago, I guess, if you will, from a gentleman. He's phenomenal. His name is Marty Neumer. He's the author of The Brand Gap. And he said that a customer's gut feeling about a product, service, or company, right? That's more like the brand. It's the result of what you give. So have any of you been to Wendy's? If you've been to Wendy's, then imagine Wendy's. You see the Wendy's logo on the outside of their building. And just so you know, I'm not a paid advertising agent for Wendy's. I'm just using them as an example. Wendy's, you see their logo, you see the little girl Wendy on the outside of the building, you see it on the cups, you see it on the French fry cartons and all that. But their brand is really the concept, the result of what you get, the feeling that you get. So I've been to many, many states. And if I want a good burger that I know that I enjoy, I get a little Baconator or whatever I like. And if I want some great chili that I know that I like and that is consistent, I get the chili from Wendy's. Now, many of you are very aware about Wendy's Frosties. It's the quality and consistency across their business model that they create that is really the brand. It's the feeling that we get, the gut feeling that we get, okay, from their product, service, or the company. That's consistent with their brand, okay? A brand is a reputation. Okay, so Wendy's is known for their Frosties. They're known for the Baconator. They're known for their chili, especially on a cold winter's day. They're known for their chili because many people like it. I know I personally like it. I used to have chili with cheese all the time. So again, a brand is a reputation. Okay, it's the rep, and a reputation can appear different from diverse viewpoints. For me, the representation of Wendy's, immediately when I think of Wendy's, I think of the Frosty, okay? Or their burger or their chili. It depends on how I'm feeling at the moment. If I'm really hungry, I'm going to think of their chili and their burger. Why? Because it's filling. If I'm kind of thirsty or I want something a little sweet or like snackish, if you will, or for dessert, I'm going to get their Frosty. So everything that happens within the company and everyone within the company can affect the brand positively or negatively. And you might be saying, Lotus, what do you mean that everyone in the company can affect the brand positively or negatively? This is what I mean. If you go to your favorite restaurant, say if your favorite restaurant is Red Lobster, and you go to the restaurant and you normally get those wonderful biscuits that they're known for, with the garlic and the parsley and the cheese, and it's so cooked, so great, and it's so tasty. Yeah. And you really like those, and you go to Red Lobster and you have this server that comes to you and they bring you some of the Red Lobster biscuits and they're cold. You're going to be very disappointed. Why? Because that is not the reputation of Red Lobster. Typically, when they bring them out, they're hot and they're flaky and they appear to melt in your mouth. But for that day, the concept of their brand has changed for you. Okay. And the person that brought those biscuits out or didn't make sure those biscuits were hot, guess what? They affected the way you think about that particular brand. So for those of you that are just coming on board, creating your own business, and learning how to brand yourself, you need to know these quick steps. Again, what is a brand? You need to be able to define what is a brand. But most importantly, you need to be able to define what your brand is. What your brand is. Your colors, your logo, your tagline, all of that is not your brand. You have to define what your brand is. Okay. And again, another thing that we know a brand is not, again, is a logo, a tagline, or a piece of merch. And we also talked about that branding is not just a simple color. Just because you wear red and blue all the time, or my colors are red, white, and gold, that is not a brand. It's a part of my brand. You have to remember above all that a brand is not, let me share this with you, a brand is not a service or a product, but it's an idea that people have about you. Brand, at the end of the day, brand is a result. And back to what Mr. Marty Neumer said, he wrote the book called The Brand Gap. And he said, again, I'm sharing this with you, that a brand is a customer's gut feeling about a product, service, or company. So it's the impression somewhat that they leave with you in your mind when you envision their business or when you go to their business. Okay. A brand is a solid reputation. Okay. And the reputation of a brand can be different to many different people, but that's how so many people can move their brand across so many different platforms, pardon me, because they can appeal to so many different people in so many different states and in so many different countries, because sometimes the brand has to adjust for the country that they're in, but they stay consistent with the model of the brand. Okay. And again, everyone within your company can form it can, pardon me, everyone in your company can positively or negatively affect your brand. So with that being said, I just wanted to come share those few tips with you. I've had so many of you ask me, what is a brand? Do I help people brand? Do I help them, if they already have a brand, enhance their brand and expand their territory? And the answer is yes. I want to say hi to Robert J. Moore. Good to see you. Happy that you're here. And thanks for sharing. Robert also said your brand name exists objectively. People can see it. It's fixed, but your brand exists only in someone's mind. And that's a great point. I love it. So with that being said, I want to encourage you. If you're a new entrepreneur, get with a professional that knows what branding is, how to brand you, and how to help you up brand. Because once you're brand, the work doesn't stop there. You have to continue to move up, and you have to network with people that know how to help you up brand. And so if you want to learn more about branding, creating your brand, and networking to build your brand, to make more money and build through integrity, go ahead and email me. That's right. I said email me at Lotus Richey Ignites or at Lotus Ignites, okay, at gmail.com. And I'll put it right here. Lotus Richey Ignites at gmail.com. And actually, you can reach me better, pardon me, at lotusignites at gmail.com. Lotusignites at gmail.com. And we will quickly schedule you for a private meeting and discuss with you about how to become branded, where to start, what you need to know, and how to get up branded, especially for those who are already branded but are having a difficult time in getting up branded. Again, reach out to me at lotusignites at gmail.com. And then I want to invite you to join me tonight for my live broadcast of Coach Cafe. It's a powerful Coach Cafe discussion with Miss Janelle Harris of She Exists, Mr. Terrence Leffridge of Unstoppable Coaching, and the Miss Motivation herself, Wanda D. Hollis. So join us tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and make sure you come on in to the Coach Cafe, where we're going to be giving you some tips and some tricks and skills to help you with your branding, your up branding, but also to help you expand in your territory as you wake up winning to be unstoppable and ignite and take flight. Also, don't forget, if you're planning on learning more and more up branding, make sure you join me for the Magnetic Entrepreneur Business Success Summit with Robert J. Moore. And you can take that link right there, and you can go ahead and get your ticket for the summit. The tickets are actually starting at $10 to about $87. The $10 will get you a recording of the summit. Now, the $25 ticket will get you into the two-day summit with some of the most magnificent speakers on the planet, like Jack Canfield, Robert J. Moore, and a whole host of other folks. And that summit has a little secret, and you won't find out about the secret until you keep coming back to the broadcast. And I'm going to share some of those secrets with you about the summit. But again, if you're trying to up brand, you don't want to miss this upcoming summit, Magnetic Entrepreneur Business Success Summit with Robert J. Moore, the COVID-19 lockdown. And this summit is going to be June 6th and 7th. And then check this out. If you upbrand yourself and get the $87 ticket after the summit is over on June 13th, you will have a private one-on-one coaching with Mr. Robert J. Moore, the upbrander himself. He will give you private coaching, okay, to help you get up branded, to help you become an author if you're not an author, and if you want to become an author, or if you're already an author and your books are not doing as well. He will help you help yourself become a top author. And also, don't forget, please make sure you check out my new book, okay, that is coming out. I have been so privileged to have a great new book, and you're going to love it. And I'm going to put it here for you. You can see the book that's coming out. It's called Quebrando Barreras. It's the saga number 2. And it's with a host of magnificent other authors throughout the globe, where we've come together to co-author this book as we help you transcend your difficulties and move through life with success. So make sure you get my new book, okay, because you're going to love it. Quebrando Barreras, Saga 2. And also, for those of you that have not already acquired my other book, Magnetic Entrepreneur, where I co-authored the book with 125 other co-authors with magnificent people like Raymond Aaron, Robert J. Moore, Angela Eltine, and of course, so many other magnificent speakers and authors. So make sure you get that book, and you can get that book as well at lotusroche@gmail.com. And you can also get my books at lotusignites.com, lotusignites.com. And so this evening, I'm going to be hosting the Coaches Cafe. So be sure to get the Coaches Cafe. So get there tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure you join me at the Coaches Cafe. Okay. Thank you so much. So with that being said, for those of you that are just coming on, if you've missed this, go ahead and replay it. And if you want to share this with a friend that's trying to figure out how to up brand themselves, go ahead and have them reach out to me at lotusignites@gmail.com, and be sure to share with them this information on what is branding, because so many people don't know what branding is. And then be sure to reach me tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Coaches Cafe. Don't miss that. Don't miss the Coaches Cafe. You are going to be empowered, inspired, and uplifted by the Coaches Cafe. So this has been Lotus Richey. I appreciate you for spending your time with me. Make sure you share this broadcast with someone, but most importantly, remember to always ignite and take flight as you take control of your life. Have a great day.